Toni, do you remember the first time we met?
Of course.
Okay. I remember the first time we met and you came into the house with your whole family. I adored you from the beginning. First off, you were really funny and your family dynamic was amazing. So when you called me a few years later and asked me to help your sister buy a home, and then you said you were going to come with me, I was delighted. Like I was super,
Super.
super excited. And my favorite part is when we would go around to each house, I knew you were a natural realtor, even in the creepy house that had the blood all over. My favorite was when I hid in the basement and scared you.
Yeah. And I almost punched you.
I was coming next. And you almost punched me. Why did you get into real estate? Like, what's your passion there?
I think what motivated me, honestly, to get into real estate from the get was I think you really inspired me. I mean, initially, I think we saw, I don't even know, maybe 20 plus houses together that we went and did together. And at that point, I just saw how good you were at it. And you were so passionate about like helping me, helping my family, helping my sister, and all that. And I thought, oh, I kind of want to do what she's doing. I like it so much. And then you kind of started to show me the ropes as we started looking at houses and stuff. And I was like, I think I could do this because these are the things that I like to do. Like I love to help people. And I'm even prior to doing real estate, I was always helping people like try to find the best deal or the best product or, you know, whatever. It was just kind of something I was like known for, like helping people plan vacations, helping people buy things. I get really excited about like research and all these different things. And so it just kind of naturally like translated into real estate for me, where I'm like, give me a checklist of all the most important things you need in a house. And I love like going out and like on it, you know,
Yeah.
and like trying to find all the things.
And you do.
I just like research to try to find like the perfect property for someone. And I'm just like really passionate about matching the person to the property and helping them. And so I feel like it kind of started with you and seeing how you do the job and people believing in me too. I think you and Jeff and my sister and other people are like, I think you could do this and I think you would be good at it. I think people believing in me also kind of going to give me the start that I needed.
This last contract that you did, I love that the realtor on the other side recognized how you put your clients first and how you take care of them, and even saying you came in with guns blazing. Tell me a little bit about like what sets you apart and what can your clients expect from you if they're going to work with you?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like a bit of a bulldog, and I am that way like in every aspect of my life. And once my clients kind of explained to me that like this was the property, this is the one that they wanted. I mean, this property that they were interested in, actually they pulled it off the market. And my clients were like, we're really bummed. We really wanted that. And I just kind of like rolled my sleeves up and we're like, okay, what do we need to do to get that done? What are the sellers really looking for and how can we meet them there? And so I just like don't give up. If I see that my clients really want something or we need to do something to make it happen, I just find out what is that something and kind of bulldog my way in to make it happen. I don't take a no for an answer.
You actually really don't.
Yeah.
What kind of clients or what areas do you specialize? Like, what is your sweet spot? What do you love to do?
I really like to do first-time home buyers. And I think the reason for that is they kind of come into it without knowing anything. And I love to be able to like the teachability and the way to just kind of explain it. I personally think that the industry as a whole makes home buying feel way harder, more unreachable than it really is. Like, I feel like if you have a really good real estate agent helping you, it's really an easy and simple process, especially also having a great lender. Like if we partner with a great lender and they kind of walk you through the financial process and I'm walking you through like the property process and the negotiations and the contracts, I feel like it feels really overwhelming to a lot of people that have never done it before. And so one thing I like about working with first-time home buyers is trying to like take some of the stress off of them and be like, this does not have to be so hard. This does not have to be so complicated. And maybe allowing them to take a deep breath and be like, I can do this and it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be stressful. So I kind of like taking the pressure off a bit.
What's your approach to helping clients buy or sell a home? Like, if we're going to sell a home with you, what does that look like?
Approach is I love laying down expectations right out the gate with both a buyer or seller. So I feel like I kind of walk through my process. So for example, if we're selling a house, like, hey, these are the first steps, or let's talk about what we need to do to get this property ready. and how long is that going to take, and how long do you need, and how long do I think you need, and kind of setting those expectations up. And what is your timeline? Like, do you have to be out of state in 30 days? Because that looks different than someone that's like, I need months to prepare. And so just kind of setting expectations right out the gate and then just kind of following that timeline.
So I feel like you're really intuitive with your clients. You know what they want, you know what they need, and you're tapering those needs. You really provide a personalized service.
Yeah, I would agree. That's what I try to do because I have some clients that are really casual, like they don't care if I show up in shorts and a t-shirt and they prefer it that way. And they want to have, they want to text multiple times a day. Sometimes we even talk about things outside of real estate, they're more casual. And that's how they prefer it. But then I have some clients that want to be a lot more professional. And so I just kind of read the client and like what kind of professional relationship are we going to have? And what do they need from me for that transaction? So like I said, some need more or less communication, some need more or less handholding. If they've bought 3 houses, they kind of understand how this works and really don't need me to guide them along as much as maybe a first time home buyer. So I really do try to create like an individualistic experience for every single client because every single property and every single client is different. So I'm not going to treat them all the same.
Talk to me about Utah. Why do you love Utah?
So one thing I love about Utah is I love the big mountains. I love the outdoors. And I think that there's so much to do. And I feel like every little individual community in like Salt Lake County and Utah counties kind of offer individual things to do. And so there's just a ton to do, whether outdoors or whether, in the city. And it's such a great place for families. Like there are so many different opportunities at any given time. There's something that you can either take the kids to or not take the kids to. And there's just a wide variety of things to do for whether you're a skier or a family person or both.
Why would somebody want to work with you?
I think people like to work with me because I go the extra mile. I feel like I do things that maybe other agents wouldn't do. I think I also, like I said, I'm really in tune with their needs. But I always catch myself in every transaction thinking to myself, I don't think anybody else would do this. I don't think anybody else would, dog sit someone's, 2 pit bulls while they're in the middle of an inspection. I don't think home buying should be as hard as people are making it to be. And I try to get people there.